Hey everyone, Austin here with Computer Upgrade King. Welcome to our product teardown for the MSI GF65 THIN 9SD. At only 4.85 pounds and 0.9 inches thick, it's great for gaming on the go. This powerful gaming laptop comes stocked with some pretty awesome features. In this particular model, you're going to get a 1080p screen at 120Hz with IPS-level display. It's really thin, nice thin bezels. It has a 9th gen Intel i7-9750H 6-core in there. This model in particular comes with a 1660 Ti, which is going to be great for any sort of 1080p gaming. The laptop is capable of being upgraded to 64 gigs of RAM. It's got two 2280 M.2 slots, which means you can put a lot of nice fast storage in this thing. Comes with a 51 watt-hour battery, which should give you 2 to 3 hours of battery life. Some other features include a gold-plated 3.5mm jack and a headset amp, so you can use a nice powerful headset with the laptop. It also has two USB 3.2 Type-C ports, two USB 3.1 Gen 1 ports. The HDMI 1.4 supports up to 4K at 30 Hz. It's got a built-in 720p HD webcam and a backlit keyboard with anti-ghosting built in. So now we're ready to do the teardown. We're going to do some upgrades today, some simple upgrades. We're going to upgrade to a 2TB NVMe from the 512 that's in the system, and we're going to upgrade to two 16 gig sticks here, which is going to take us up to 32 gigs from the 8 gig sticks that are provided. What you'll need for this is just a basic Phillips head, potentially a spudger. I pretty much just only use the pick. Pick is the way to go for everything. It makes it nice and easy. For reference, the front of the laptop is facing me right now. I'm just going to start taking out the screws. Again, I always recommend you lay these out in a grid pattern that matches what you did for the removal. Luckily for MSI, and I think specifically for this model as well, all the screws are the same length, so it doesn't really matter, but it's just good practice. I'll go ahead and start taking these out. The only thing I wish MSI would do is have those nice captured screws like they do on some of the HP models. Makes it a lot easier to take your panels off when the screws don't come all the way out and they just open up a nice seam for you. It's not the case here. And what was that, a total of like 12 screws? 12 screws, yeah. For this model, the first thing you're going to want to do before you start taking off the back panel, it's going to make it a lot easier, at least in the long run, is to take off what you have here. This is the back of the laptop. This piece here, the hinge cover, needs to be removed. It's going to make everything nice and simple. In order to do that, you're just going to take your pick. You're going to start along this edge here. Just going to work your way along the edge until it releases itself. It's normally pretty easy. Do be careful though. You want to be careful not to break any clips if you can help it. Another thing to note is when you're putting this back on, there's these two little clips here. It's going to slot into the laptop. So just for further reference, I'll show you when we're putting it back on. Again, I like to start at the back, and you're just going to work your pick around the laptop and try to release these pieces. It can be kind of a pain sometimes. There we go. Those are nice, satisfying clicks that you like to hear. And work your way around. When you're removing this panel, you want to make sure you're taking it off this direction. The reason being is these USB Type-Cs right here are molded around the connections. So if you don't take it off that direction, you have a chance of damaging those when you're pulling up on the panel. So just be very careful and keep that in mind when you're removing it. First thing you're going to want to do before anything is unplug your battery. That's step number one. Memory you see here, we've got these two 8 gig sticks we're going to take out, replace them with 16s, and then we have this area over here. This slot right here is PCIe only. This slot is SATA and PCIe drives. So we're going to be upgrading this and upgrading these two sticks. The other things that you see here, nice copper heat pipes, all one package, comes together. Two big fans to exhaust everything. You got your CPU over here and your GPU over here. If you were going to repaste it, this all comes up as one piece. There's a bunch of numbers you'll see that label everything all the way up to 12. Wow, it actually goes up to 13. In order to take out this entire assembly, that includes the fans. The fans are like, they appear to be soldered together here. That's going to give you some nice heat exchange when you're taking out that heat. Just remove those all in the order that they're numbered, and the whole assembly comes off as one. You'll clean off both sides, replace the paste if you really need to. We're going to go ahead and start with this RAM upgrade. Pretty simple. You see these little metal clips here. You're just going to move it to the side, move it to the side. Boom. Normally it doesn't just jump out at you like that. Typically it pops up in this 30-degree angle here. Once it's popped up, go ahead and remove the stick. We're going to set that off to the side. I'm going to take out the other stick as well. This one just pops up like it's supposed to. The other one just jumped out. That was wild. You'll see there's a notch in the stick. That's going to line up with a key in the slot. So you just want to make those two line up. This one means it goes in upside down essentially. Put it in there at that 30-degree angle. Press it down till it clips. Nothing too crazy. Again, you'll see the notch here, the key. You'll line it up, put it in a 30-degree angle, clip it down. It's really as simple as that. As far as the NVMe is concerned, it's just as simple as the memory. It's just this one screw here. Just take this one screw out, set that screw to the side, don't lose it. And we're gonna pull that up. Looks like they've got some heat pads here. That's going to be for the controller, and it looks like they have a heat pad for the memory. But something tells me that they provide this more likely for potentially a second drive. The main thing that's going to generate a lot of heat on these is going to be the controller. So typically you see those heat pads just where the controllers are located. So the new drive anyway is going to go in that same 30-degree angle we just removed the old drive at. And you're going to push it down, and then you're just going to secure it with a screw. Nothing too crazy. Some other potential upgrades you could do while you're in here, outside of memory and adding some additional M.2 storage. This is 2280 size for the record. You could upgrade this Wi-Fi card here, this 2230. I mean, some of these laptops sometimes ship with kind of like low quality Wi-Fi, but generally speaking, you're gonna be okay. And there's really not much you can do, especially if they decided to put the antennas in a bad place. Putting a better Wi-Fi card in there is really not going to improve your signal in any way, shape, or form. They actually did really good here. They've got a Wi-Fi antenna up here, and it looks like they probably have another one somewhere behind the monitor, which is a nice place to be. So you're getting Wi-Fi signal from just about everywhere on this laptop. So what we're gonna do before we put it back together is make sure we plug in our battery again. Lift that up a little bit, make it easier on ourselves to put it back in. There we go, nice and seated. And then we're gonna go ahead and put our bottom panel back in place. Again, keep in mind that you have these connections here that are molded around. So we're gonna start from that side. Gonna get those over those connections. Nice. And then you just drop it in. And then you just start clipping around. Or it's gonna be kind of a pain, and you might have to actually just pick it up and go around yourself, you know? Just do it. Get those nice, satisfying clicks. There we go. There we go. And this side is nice and clean because we started there. Hooray. We're going to reinstall. If you're looking over here, you'll see this little like tiny hole here. There's one of these on each side. And that's what these little tabs on this thing line up with. You see these tiny little tabs here? So you just want to make sure that you've got those nice and lined up. They're going to seat into those as a little guide track. And once those are in there, you just snap everything back in place. Hopefully it's going to play nice, and if it doesn't, well, that's fun. Make sure we get a nice seat on the front side here. It looks nice and clean. And that's pretty much the end of the upgrade process. Just go ahead and put all your screws back in. Again, they're all the same size. So regardless of the grid pattern that you try to keep them in, that's good practice. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure you get all 12 in. Now you're ready to go.
Good.
Good.
Thanks for checking out the Teardown, guys. If you find yourself needing a different spec or configuration, or you want to personalize your machine, check out our extensive customization options on our website at cukusa.com. Some of these things that you can do on this laptop in particular would be a RAM upgrade, storage upgrade. We offer laser etching if you want to personalize it. Reach out to our support team to get a quote. And of course, be sure to check out the product link in the description and leave a comment down below if you have any questions for us here at Computer Upgrade King. This has been Austin. Thanks again for spending some time with us today and watching this MSI GF65 THIN 9SD Teardown. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell for future product teardowns and reviews.